Society is a lot more fragile than we'd like to admit. We walk around every day pretending there's this social contract, the invisible agreement that if I'm nice to you, you'll be nice to me. 2019's Joker obviously wasn't just about a man wearing makeup. It was a chemical formula, a step-by-step breakdown of how you take a functioning civilization and turn it into a funeral pyre. Todd Phillips didn't just give us a supervillain origin story, he gave us a Riot manual. And today we're going to look at the 5 ingredients that turn a lonely man into a landmark of chaos. A riot doesn't start with a bang, it starts with a whisper, or rather the sound of a sea that has stopped listening. Look at Gotham, it's not just dirty, it's rotting. The first step is systemic neglect. You have to make the people feel like their existence is a clerical error. When Arthur is sitting in that cramped office with that social worker and she tells him,
"They've cut our funding. We're closing down our offices next week."
That, for me, is literally the most violent moment in the entire movie. More violent than any gunshot, because it's the sound of a door locking from the outside. When you take away a man's medicine, his job, his dignity, you aren't saving money. You're building a pressure cooker. You're creating a class of people who have nothing to lose. And a man with nothing to lose can be the most dangerous element on the entire planet. You can't have a war without uniform. But in a riot, the people don't choose their uniform. The elites choose it for them. Enter Thomas Wayne. He goes out on national television and calls the struggling people of Gotham clowns.
Those of us who have made something of our lives will always look at those who haven't as nothing but clowns.
And this is step 2, the dehumanizing label. By mocking the lower class, he did something incredibly stupid. He gave them an identity. Before that interview, the people were just a bunch of sad, disconnected individuals. But after that interview, they were an army of clowns. If the man in the billion-dollar tower tells you that you're a joke, the only logical response is to make sure he's the one who ends up crying. Every riot needs a catalyst, a moment that proves it can be done. And for Gotham, it was the subway shooting. But look at how Arthur reacts. He's terrified at first. He's a victim to his own adrenaline. Step 3 isn't violence itself, it's public validation. When the newspaper started printing vigilante clown, they didn't condemn Arthur, they crowned him.
Fuck him. I think the guy that did it is a hero.
The media took an act of desperate self-defense and turned it into a political manifesto. They told everyone that was bullied by a Sue that it was okay to fight back. They turned a murder into a trend. And when violence becomes trendy, it becomes inevitable. This is the moment the show ends. Murray Franklin represents the gatekeeper. He decides what is acceptable, what is funny, what we're allowed to ignore. Arthur coming on to Murray's show was the end of the line. He had finally reached the altar of the society that had rejected him, but he wasn't there to worship. People feel safe sat in front of a TV. They feel as if the chaos out there can't touch them in here. And that's step 4, breaking the 4th wall. Arthur didn't just kill Murray on live television, he killed the illusion of safety. He proved that the elites are just as meat and bone as the people they mock. When that camera kept rolling and showed Murray's lifeless body, the riots officially moved from the streets to the soul of the city. And after that, there was no going back to normal. The final step is the most terrifying, the ascension. What's the ending again? The city is screaming, people are dying, the buildings are burning, and Arthur, he's dancing. He's standing on top of a police car, drawing a smile on his face with his own blood. He has no plan. He doesn't want to fix Gotham. He doesn't want to be the mayor. He just wants the world to feel as chaotic as it feels inside of his own head. And that is why his riot succeeds. A riot isn't a movement, it's a release valve. Arthur provided the spark, but the city provided the fuel. He isn't the leader of a revolution. He's a man who stood in the middle of a fire and realized it didn't burn him anymore.